Hello everyone, welcome again. In this video, I am going to discuss a new earning opportunity that is giving passive earnings in an excellent manner. I am invested in it, and then I think the offer is highly legitimate, and over time I developed a strong conviction in this opportunity. Uh, I see the earnings are highly realistic here on this opportunity. For anyone keen on making money online or passive income, I think it highly makes sense to grab this opportunity. Let me take you through this opportunity details and my journey on this investment so far. What if your crypto could be traded automatically using artificial intelligence directly on Binance? No staring at charts, no emotional trading, no guessing entries and exits. That's exactly what Polar Tensor is about. Honestly, this is one of the most talked about AI trading opportunities in crypto right now. This AI system has been in development since 2018, trading successfully since 2020, and operating directly on Binance since 2024. This is generating over 20 to 21% average monthly performance across long term tracked periods, low drawdowns, and millions of executed trades here. So, what is Polar Tensor? How does it work? And why so many people are talking about it? What makes it different from typical other platforms? Yeah, I will break it all down in a simple and easy to understand manner. Polar Tensor performs 100% high frequency trades using artificial intelligence directly on Binance. It is a cutting edge, fully automated AI trading system that's been dominating the markets since early 2024. This is powered by dual neural networks. Trend networks analyze BTC dominance, on chain data, and macro conditions to gauge bullish or bearish patterns. Then direction networks process real-time order book dynamics, news sentiment, and blockchain metrics for lightning fast, high confidence trades. This AI system ran successfully on FTX, say 2020 to 2022, and then after the FTX debacle, I think it was refined over 1.5 years, and since then it has been crushing the trades on Binance, with compounded growth and minimal drawdown. This is led by founder by name Felix Bick, yeah, and a world-class team of AI data scientists, mathematicians, and developers. So they are like bringing institutional grade deep learning tech to the crypto space here. This is the complete Polar Tensor website. So you can get into your account using the login here. The idea here is simple. Instead of humans making emotional trading decisions, so the AI handles everything. The system trades directly on Binance, which is a key factor. Yeah. So it uses high frequency execution and real time data analysis. One thing that has attracted attention is the company's emphasis on transparency, I would say. The founder, Felix, regularly appears in videos, live calls, and presentations discussing the project, so the technology and his company's vision. Felix has previously worked in private banking, international supply chain optimization before moving into algorithmic crypto trading. This system has become fully operational in early 2024. Wherever people are looking for stable earning opportunities, Polar Tensor is positioning right exactly there. Like instead of promising unrealistic overnight returns, the company is focusing heavily on consistency, automated trading, controlled drawdowns, compounded growth, and long-term sustainability. As you can see here, for one of the recent weeks, that is from I think May 4th to May 8th week, it generated a weekly performance of around 3.88%. Okay. And with 1.13% maximum drawdown. Yeah, you can see 151,000 trades executed in a single week. All the trades are executed on Binance directly. Since this system executes thousands of trades, what I came to know is Polar Tensor acquired a VIP 9 level Binance account, wherein they staked a huge amount of BNB to get that VIP 9 level account. That is how they are able to make thousands of trades with I think almost zero transaction fees on Binance. Now, whether you are technical or not, the main thing viewers here need to understand is Polar Tensor positions itself as institutional style AI trading technology brought to normal crypto users. Now let me show my journey on this opportunity so far and my earnings. This is the main page of my account. As you can see, yeah, I made an initial deposit of $3,300 here, out of which I think it reserves 10% for the license fee. So 3,000 was added to the trading. So from 3,000 trading dollars trading funds, I think I compounded till it became 3,478 at the moment. You can see here actively being traded funds. Yeah, one can reinvest automatically, right? It's a weekly reinvestment. So it is Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, so the system doesn't trade. They claim that the liquidity during weekend is low, and then it doesn't support the conditions are not favorable for trading during weekends. Once in a week, the profits are published into our account around Friday night. I started on this opportunity on the very first day. It was made available to few users. That is on January 28th. And later on, around February 18th of this year, they opened it for everyone. Since last 2 years, the founder, with his own personal fund of around 2 million, I think using this system, he has grown that portfolio into a 100+ million bigger portfolio using this trading system. In fact, the founder demonstrated the live trades on Binance. There are videos online on this demonstration. As many of you can understand, live trading on Binance is highly trustworthy. Now let me show you something very important. That is my withdrawals so far. Yeah. So these are all my withdrawals, since January 28th. Yeah, one significant factor here is withdrawals are highly smooth, The moment I put a withdrawal, the withdrawal arrives in 10 to 15 minutes, So, which is a very big comfort factor. One can make a deposit onto this platform using all these various currencies, out of which I think USDT ERC20, USDT BEP20 was introduced recently. These are very convenient currencies to deposit. One can also see the real-time trades being, right, trades. Yeah, this is the trading performance. Yeah, current week, last week, and the last 30 days. You can, right, you can see the overall, right, performance. Now let me briefly show you the opportunity presentation here. Yeah. So this is the founder and CEO. You can see the historical returns here over a time period of, I think, more than 1.5 year. Yeah. So the average performance is around 21%. One significant observation so far is there are no losing months, there are no losing weeks, but here and there are, right, some losing days. We go back here, right? If there is a losing day, right, that losing day is shown in red here. Now let's see the deposit options here, right? You can see these are the various packages available. You can see, right, on smaller deposits, right, they take their performance fee share, right, which is higher. On right, on bigger deposits, their share, right, performance fee share is it becomes less, 25% here on a 25,000 deposit. They take their share because, right, the entire system is like proprietary to them. Again, for people who are keen and capable of building teams, so there are a lot of referral, right, incentives under various categories. Yeah, one way to understand is in place of putting a huge marketing budget, right? So this is the current trend, right? Wherein platforms, right, incentivize their community, so to spread the platform. Yeah, back to my back office, yeah, one can reinvest, right? It's a weekly, right, compounding. Once in a week, the profits are published, right, to our accounts, and then we can, right, always withdraw weekly profits, right, or compound. As you can see here, the system is making average, right, profits of around 21%, out of which, right, after they deduct their performance fee share, I think this is the, right, average monthly, right, monthly average for my account. This is a very highly decent monthly return, I would say. Yeah. So there is a complete separate website, right, which is the complete marketing hub for Polar Tensor, right, uh, where you can see the business presentations, right, in various languages. One other major observation is this entire Polar Tensor, right, trading system is audited by KPMG, which is, right, one of the big four, right, auditing organizations. Yeah, as you can see here, right, they have secured, right, licenses, right, across various, right, demographics, like across Europe, United States, and then even there is a SEC, right, US SEC filing. All these findings are, right, driving us towards, right, a very high legitimacy. Yeah, right, if you ask me. Another significant factor here is this system, right, doesn't, right, trade using futures, right, leverage trading or margin trading, and instead it only does spot trading, which means there is no risk of, right, higher leverage being handled, right, here, right. So the maximum leverage is like 1x because it is spot trading. See, for many people, the attraction here is simple, right? It's like passive exposure to AI-driven crypto trading without manual trading, right? They themselves. See, Polar Tensor operates through multiple registered entities across different jurisdictions. So these registrations are connected to Panama, Hong Kong, Poland, and the United States. They have the KPMG related audit reviews. Now, obviously, right, every viewer should still do should still do their own research. Crypto always, as you know, right, involves risk, and no platform can guarantee future profits. And in fact, Polar Tensor itself, right, includes risk disclaimers. Yeah, one other major thing is, right, any deposit made, right, can be withdrawn, right, with a 10% withdrawal fee. So this is a very useful feature according to me. Right, with just a 10% withdrawal fee, we can remove the deposited funds anytime we need. Or the other way to see is, right, one can deposit, right, use the reinvestment compounding feature weekly, right, compound the profits for few weeks. Thereafter, right, anytime they can withdraw the deposited fund, so once they withdraw, so they don't lose any funds because of the reinvestment, they have done. Now, some salient features of this trading system. As you can see here, right? Now, on the account where all user funds are traded, the same account has now, grown to a size of, more than 200 million on Binance. Yeah, like I said, one can withdraw the capital whenever they want. Yeah. So I have compiled 14 reasons to invest in Polar Tensor, as you can see here. The CEO is completely transparent. In fact, so they conducted an event recently, couple of weeks back in Las Vegas, where he was present. Yeah. Then it's all real trading, real profits, and Binance, right? KPMG audit, average 21 to 22% performance last 18 months, and then the referral commissions. Here you can see the monthly report for the previous month of April. For the month of April, the total performance is 20.33%. The maximum drawdown for the entire month was 1.60%, and then you can see the total trades executed, which is I would say highly impressive. These returns are highly decent returns, I would say, but then again not high return promise. As you can see here, one major differentiating factor with Polar Tensor is all user funds are insurance protected. You can see here, Polar Tensor has implemented a multi-layer insurance protection framework designed to mitigate operational and technological risks within the platform ecosystem. The insurance framework is designed to cover a wide range of potential risks, including professional liability coverage, cybersecurity coverage, operational risk protection, third-party liability protection. This feature is a highly trustworthy feature, as we can understand. Not sure how and when this can come into play. In fact, we would never wish this, should come into play. Now, on the risk management side, so it's important not to blindly follow the hype, So always do your own research, understand the risks, never invest, money you cannot afford to lose, and take time to understand, how the platform works. So every viewer should, evaluate the opportunity carefully for themselves. I would say one can deposit, right, decent funds. Yeah, the funds depends on one's affordability, right? Higher the deposit, it's always better. Thereafter, right, follow a combination of, right, few weeks, right, reinvestment. I mean, compounding, utilize the compounding feature, and for few weeks, right, in a month or so, right, keep withdrawing the profits made. In any case, one should target, right, quickly, right, reaching the break even stage, or right, or quickly recouping the, right, the amount they deposited. Once they break even, they, right, they can think of removing the initial deposited funds, and then ride, right, with the, right, profit money. Whatever, see, with all the credentials, right, with all the platform credentials I discussed so far, I have a strong feeling, right, that this platform carries a lot of legitimacy, and then more importantly, the returns are, right, highly realistic. If you want to explore Polar Tensor further, right, I would ask you to, right, contact me using the Telegram contact for my channel, right, you can find in the description. Additionally, you can check out the official website of Polar Tensor, review the documentation, watch the founder presentations, and study the weekly reports, right, yourself. However, don't just rely on the hype. Study everything, understand the risks, and make informed decisions for yourself. If anyone is keen to, right, make a investment in this platform, right, and not sure how to start on this, can get in contact with me, and then I can guide, right, you, right, completely. If you found this video useful, right, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more, right, similar content. Yeah, and comment below your thoughts on Polar Tensor. And you can find the, right, invitation link to Polar Tensor in the video description and also in the comment section. Okay, I will see you in the next video then. Thank you.